earlier in the week, and a Monroe County potterer is setting up celebrating the Mountain State. Pottery by Mary Ann is a small business that has been going to the state fair for nearly a decade. Her art ranges from coffee mugs to ornaments and more. The state fair is always a place that Mary Ann sets up shop. With what started as a fun way to escape from school, turned into a successful business. Each year she brings thousands of pieces of pottery, and she tells us that she is grateful and proud to show off the Mountain State and to have such a large amount of support behind her.
I'm so proud of our state, and I really try in my store to kind of celebrate that. And I think that West Virginians, we're aware of what we have. We are aware of how special our state is. And so West Virginians see that in my store, and I think that they want to support that. They want to be a part of celebrating with me.
If you're interested in one of these unique pieces, Pottery by Mary Ann will be set up for the rest of the state fair, and you can find her on social media by Pottery by Mary Ann on Facebook and Instagram.